Shalom, Israel. Shalom to the 12 tribes. Yasha Allah, giving the course all on the glory praise. Unto Yahweh, Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. All right. That's all praises on the glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the names on the Son Yahweh Shah. This is Brother Yasha Allah.
It's Brother Sirach.
Khan, come back to yet another video through the Spirit by Yahweh, Bashem, Hamashiach, Yahweh Shah. All right. So, yeah, we tonight, you know what I'm saying, through the Spirit. And of course, Shabbat Shalom to all that's deserving it. Friday, sundown to Saturday, sundown. Another day of praying, laboring, and getting into the word of the Most High God. All right, and resting. Right. So, all praises. But yeah, like as you can see from the title of this video, we be going into a milk topic, right? So some milk through the Spirit. Not going in for too long, but just a milk topic. Going into what? Who are the saints of the Most High? Right? Who are the saints? Right? So we're going to go into that. So let's kick it off, man, real quick with honestly, the book of Psalms chapter 50, verse 5. Right? Let's kick it off with that. Or right, we can kick it off with this, the most plainest precept, right? Psalms chapter 148, right? And these precepts, they're needed because once you want to prove who the saints of the Lord are, because a lot of people, the Catholics, they say the saints is just somebody with, that somebody's just holy. They can be a saint, or they talk about, when you mention the saints, oh yeah, they pray to Saint Michael, they pray to Saint, no, who are the saints, man? Just plainly, right? According to the Bible, not according to what man says, right? So let's read that. Psalms chapter 148, verse 14.
There's Psalms 148 and 14. It says, He also exalted the horn of his people, the rays of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. People near unto him, praise ye the Lord.
Praise ye the Lord. That's who the saints are according to the Bible, the children of Israel, a people near unto him. You see that? So that's who the saints are. It's plain in the text, right? Another precept to prove that. Psalm chapter 50, verse 5. Let's get that one. Right.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 5, and it reads thus.
Come.
Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a sacrifice with me by select it. I'm gonna read it again. This is Psalms 50 and 5. Gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice.
Exactly. The Lord is saying, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. So who made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice? There's only one nation of people that did that. Right. And let's go to the real quick to link that up. Exodus. I think I went 24. 24 and 8.
This Exodus chapter 24, verse 8. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, Behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord had made with you concerning all these words.
Have made with you concerning all these words. Who was Moses talking to? Of course, it will be none other but the children of Israel. That's who Moses was sent to, the children of Israel. I'll tell you that in Exodus chapter 3, verse 10. It says, Come now, therefore, I'll send thee unto Pharaoh, that thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. So, of course, Moses was doing this to the children of Israel. You see that? So the people that made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice is talking about the nation of Israel. All right. And we also know that all the covenants were to Israel. That will tell you that in the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 4. Who are Israelites to whom pertaineth the adoption, the glory, the covenants. You see that? So the old covenant, all the covenants in the old covenant, and even the new covenant. Right. So the children of Israel is the only people that made a covenant with the Lord by sacrifice. And we see that in Psalm chapter 50, verse 5, they're defined as who? The saints. You see that? So, but brother got it.
Just leaning back on the same precept the brother brought out in Exodus 24. Because, people probably could, it doesn't say Israelites in the covenant, it doesn't Israelites in the covenant, but let's get it. This is Exodus 24 and 5. It says, and he sent young men of the children of Israel. So, and we know it's all through Israel, even from the first verse as well. He said, and he said unto Moses, come up and unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and 70 elders of Israel, and worship ye afar. So we know, based on the precepts hey, he's talking to the Israelites, none other. But Khan, let me get this other precept, Khan.
That's right.
So, hey, another clue, or I'm just saying another precept to show that Israel is known as the saints. This is Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse. I'm gonna start at. Uh, I'm gonna start at. I'm gonna start at 3. It says, "Yeah, he loved the people. All his saints are in thy hand, and they sit down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words." So it says, all his saints, it says, are in thy hand. So he said he loved that people. And we know, based on many precepts, is who the Most High love, who he put as his fervent heat. Let me get that precept. Select your thing.
Con.
Let me get that precept to show who he loved as his favorite lover. To make it plain. Let me get Second Ezra. Just get to the point. Second Ezra chapter 6 and verse 58. It says, "But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, thy fervent lover." So the Most High say, hey, he's our fervent lover through the Spirit. Let me get this other precept too. Let me get this other precept. Let me get Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8, and it reads thus. It says, "For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth you to the apple of his eye." Nobody don't sit around and say, "Oh, I hate that person. That's the person. That's the apple of my eye." No, the apple of your eye is the person that you love and he hold dear to me. And it reads it's of his people. So we know this is talking about the Israelites, but I could keep reading. It says, verse 4, Moses, this is Deuteronomy chapter 33 and 4. It says, "Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob." So we know, this is talking to the congregation of Jacob, all the tribes of Jacob. So that's another precept to go to as far as who is declared a saint all through the precepts. Because ultimately, as well, the brother know that when you get to Romans and all the Paul epistles, it always be addressed to the saints. So to clear that up, you got to know who is this being written to, and if it's written to the saints, that means the saints, it has the possession of it. So if he's writing to the saints, we know all those epistles that is being written in the New Testament, but just all the epistles, period, and they written to the saints, which are Israelites. But Khan, you got a king.
Con, yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, and that's why we need these precepts, because Paul always identifies the people that he's talking to in his church as saints. And we go back to the milk. We go to the drawing board. Who are the saints of the Lord? Can you call, is anybody a saint? You know what I'm saying? Is that dude down the street, that Edomite that's smoking crack, is he a saint? You know what I'm saying? Because he said, "I believe in Jesus," right? He's not a saint of the Lord. He's not a saint of the Most High. First of all, that's an Edomite, right? If you're smoking crack, then how are you a saint, right? Because a saint, you know what I'm saying, when you go into that word, it means kadash, holy, right? Let me see. Let me get this word. Yeah, see that? Kadash means sacred, holy one, saint, set apart. So the saints, they're supposed to be set apart. They're supposed to be holy. All right. Now we know Israel as a whole nation, they're holy, they're set apart according to Leviticus 20 and verse 27 on down, right? But we know that within Israel you have certain individuals that are holier than others, right? For example, you have the whole Israel. You have Israel as a whole. Yeah, they're deemed as holy. But the Israel that believes in the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shai, they're deemed even more holy. You have the elect of the elect. You have the 1/3. You know what I'm saying? The 144,000, for example. These men, you know what I'm saying? The chosen of the Most High, right? The chosen of the chosen, they're deemed more holy, right? They're deemed even more sacred. They're deemed even more saintly, if you have ears to hear. So saints, they're supposed to be holy, All right. So I'm gonna get this precept real quick. In the book of First Corinthians. Let's get First Corinthians 6:1 real quick. That's why Paul said this through the Spirit.
First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1.
Yeah, kind of.
This is First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1. Dare any of you having a matter against another, go to the law before the unjust and not before the saints.
Exactly. If you had a matter or like a disputation between somebody, why would you go to the why would you go to law? Meaning, why would you go to seek judgment from the unjust and not before the saints? It's like you having a problem with some other brother, and you go to some for lack of better some Negroes down the block, right? Hey man, what you think, man? He punched me in the face, bro. What you think I should do? Hey, what do you think they're gonna tell you? They're gonna say, hey, punch him back. All right, they're gonna say, punch him back. They're gonna say, hey, why don't you take his coat, take his jacket, right? Why don't you this and the third? They're going to judge the matter according to their injustice, according to their unrighteousness. But if you go before the saints, they're gonna tell you, thus saith the Lord. They're gonna tell you, they're gonna judge that matter righteously. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Paul is saying. Because guess what? The saints, right? The unjust in this context, it might even be Israelites, right? Just unjust Israelites, right? And not before the saints. These saints are Israelites that believe in the Most High God, Yahweh Shah, have the knowledge and keep the commandments, right? It says, let's go to verse 2.
Hey, verse 2, it reads, do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
Right. Come on. So the saints, they're going to judge the world. Now, everybody can't be a saint because not everybody's going to judge the world. They're not going to have that privilege. The Lord said in Revelation 2 and verse 26, he said, what? To he that overcometh. So the saints, they're going to overcome. These are Israelites that are going to overcome. So in this context, Paul is saying that, look, these are Israelites that are going to overcome this world. Therefore, they're going to get the privilege to judge you. You know, it says, know ye not that the saints shall judge the world. Right, go ahead.
God, it says, continue on. And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters?
So if the saints are going to be judged by you, how are you unworthy to judge the smaller matters? You know, like if a brother and another brother comes up to you and says, hey man, this man stole my wallet, is not going to give it back. That's like some child stuff, man. Right? And you as a saint, having the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the Most High, you should be able to discern that and take out a judgment for it, right? According to thus saith the Lord. So that's what Paul was saying. And the real reason why he said that is because of the prior verse, or the prior chapter in 1 Corinthians 5, right? Because somebody had it was rumored amongst them that a man had taken another man's his father's wife, right? And Paul is like, look, I have already judged already. Because even though I'm there, I don't have to be there physically in the flesh to judge that matter. I don't have to be there. All I have to do is hear that. Guess what? That's folly. That's madness. He should be put out the camp. He should be put out the congregation, right? That's why he's bringing this up, right? And let's go to verse 3 real quick.
Verse 3, and it reads thus: Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life?
Exactly. So he said, look, don't even know that we're going to judge angels. How much more things that pertain to this life? So you're going to judge heavenly things. Hey, how much more things that pertain unto this life? That's what he's saying. Look, you got to have judgment as a saint, right? So yeah, but it's like real quick on that, just going off of the point at hand, that a saint is really someone that is righteous. Let's go to Revelation real quick, 13. And then from there we can go to Revelation 14:12. And then you got it.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 10, and reads thus: right. He that leadeth 13 and 10.
Yeah.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Hey, that's right. That's the dagger right there. But this is the judgment. He that leads into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So if you're a saint, if you call yourself a saint, this is what you're patiently and faithfully waiting for, right? Because just because you're an Israelite, yeah, you're a saint, but you know, it's kind of like in the sense that, okay, are you really a saint if you look at the precepts? Because this is what the saints are waiting for. They're waiting patiently and faithfully waiting for their captors to go into captivity. They're patiently and faithfully waiting to put the so-called white man into change, you know, and put a yoke of iron upon his neck and make him work from sun up to sun up. That's what they're waiting for. So if you call yourself a saint, guess what? You have knowledge, wisdom, understanding. You believe in the Most High, and you also believe in this. You have faith and patience in this. Let's see what something else you also do. Let's go to Revelation 14 and 12.
God, this Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of Yahweh and the
Mm,
faith of Yahweh Shah.
you see that? So the saints, they're not just waiting to put Esau on chains, but they're still eating pork, and don't have their fringes on, you
God,
know, and don't keep the Sabbath. They're also what? Keeping the commandments of the Most High and having the faith of Yahweh. All right. So these are the things that the saints are really doing. So you call yourself a saint, yeah, okay, the saints are Israelites. That's the first level. But it gets a little deeper than that, right? The saints are Israelites that really hearken and listens unto the Most High, not just doing their own thing, but Khan, you got it, King.
God, that's my point.
Khan.
Because ultimately you gotta let me get this precept in Psalms 106 and 16, because like the brother saying, hey, the saints are people that actually doing, the works of the Most High. And these two men, hey, we know they was doing the work. This is Psalms 106 and verse 16. It reads, they envy Moses also in the camp, and Aaron the saint of the Lord. So Aaron, he was included to be a saint, because like the brother was saying, he was doing according to what the Most High will, you know, at that point in time. So like the brother saying, hey, it's more, it's tiers and levels to certain things. You just can't be one part of the thing and don't take accountability to the next part. So kind of, that was the precept I had on what you were saying, King. You got it.
Okay, Khan. Yeah, that's a good precept, man. Yeah, Aaron was called a saint. And guess what? Aaron, yeah, he was doing the works of the Lord, right? Let's go to real quick on that. Let's go to Revelation 18 and 20.
This Revelations 18 and 20. It reads thus: rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles, and prophets, for Yahweh had avenged you on her.
Exactly. And who is so in this context, it's like an angel, talking to who? The holy apostles and prophets. For the Most High have avenged you on her. So they were killed by her. Who's the her? It's talking about Babylon the Great. All right. Who is that? What is Babylon the Great? America. The United States of America, so called. So let's skip down. So this is the context, right? It's talking to the holy apostles and prophets. So when we skip down to verse 24, it says what?
It says, and in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and
Mm,
of all that were slain upon the earth.
you see that? So in her, meaning in Babylon the Great, was found the blood of prophets and of saints, and of all of them, all that were slain upon the earth. You see that? This great horror. So within America, you have who? The prophets and you have the saints. They're going to be killed by this war, as they have been in times past as well, right? So this shows you that guess what? The saints, they're in America. All right. You don't have to fly all the way to Israel to see, all right, there's now we finally found a saint, you know. And guess what? The saints, they're in America right now. They're in Babylon the Great. They're everywhere. All right, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right. But essentially, this horde, right, on a metaphorical sense, they're in a literal sense too, their blood is found here, right? Let's go real quick to want to get Revelation, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 9 and verse, I think, 8. Yeah, let's go to 8.
It's Revelation chapter 9, 19 and 8. Kind of selecting.
Uh,
It's Revelation chapter 19, verse 8. It reads thus: And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clothed in white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints.
See that? The righteousness of saints. So again, the saints, they're not just sitting around smoking weed, you know,
Wow.
right? Hey, you be delusional. How are you a saint and you're just sitting around smoking weed? You know, you're not a saint, brother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You know what I'm saying? But again, just because you come from that seed isn't you're not automatically just a saint. You know what I'm saying? Just walking the earth. And because again, there's certain attributes that a saint has. You know, again, he's waiting patiently for the day of the Lord to come so that he can put his enemies into chains, man. He's waiting for that, right? He's waiting for vengeance. You understand? And he's rejoicing over what? He's rejoicing over the downfall of his enemies, right? Yeah, that's what he's looking forward to. You know, Jake in the world, he's looking forward to the NBA game or the NFL game, you know, or I don't know what Jake's looking at. I mean the
The
new
new drop.
games. You said what?
And the new drop of this the sneakers that's gonna drop. You know,
Right, the new
the
the
new
new
Hellcat that's gonna drop.
yeah, con finna drop in summer, man. Man, I'm gonna be
Okay.
flossing, man. I'm gonna be flossing in those. You
Yeah.
know, trying. Hey, you already, brother. You know, right? Yeah, kind of. That's what Jake is waiting for. But guess what? The Saints, they kind of have a different mindset. All right. So yeah, you could be a saint through the physical, right? Because you are an Israelite. But again, you know, like how the scriptures are saying, you know, do you have the mind of a saint? You know, like
Come
for example, it's the same thing with the Israelite. Yeah, you come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but do you have the mind, the spirit of Israelite? You know what I'm saying? You know, Eve, you shaking your butt, you know what I'm saying, on a damn car at a stoplight. That's not the spirit of an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? That's not the spirit of Sarah. It's not the spirit of Rebecca, right?
on.
Or Rachel or Leah, you know, or Esther, Judith. That's not that they didn't have that spirit,
Come
you know. So again, it's like, do you think like a saint? Do you walk like a saint? Right? So it's kind of the same thing like that, you know. Um
I got a appreciate
fine.
it.
Yeah, you got it.
Kind of like the brother saying, it's a mind frame, and putting yourself, renewing your spirit and your mind in this thing. You know, you got to flesh everything out through the spirit. You know, like the brother said, it's not just only, oh, I'm an Israelite. It's steps to be a better Israelite. You know, and actually taking it up wholeheartedly. Like the brother said, he's like, hey, it's hey, you patiently waiting for the kingdom. You patiently waiting to put these heathens in chains. And then let me get this is Daniel chapter 7 and verse 21. It says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints and prevailed against them, just like the brother brought out.
Mhm.
Verse 22, it says, unto the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Hey, you know, so you got your saints, like the brother said, the saints is mind gonna be on what? Possessing the kingdom, taking everything that comes into play, taking anything breaking all these heathens neck, man. You know, ultimately,
Mhm.
but also you got saints gotta be in the mind frame of also going to persecution too. You know,
Mhm.
also knowing that we gotta go to persecution and having your mind set on it, and knowing, hey, if I'm gonna serve the Lord, I'm gonna get persecuted. And then after that, if I don't get persecuted, and or if I do, hey, I'm gonna possess the kingdom. You know, so it's like the brother said, it's a mind frame as well as a nationality wise, or
Mhm.
being ethnically being an Israelite, which equal to what being a saint. It's more to it. You know,
Mhm.
it's always actions behind certain things, and this is one of them. Kaki, you got it.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Exactly. And even when he skipped up to the classic, you know what I'm saying, in verse 18, you know, it's, you know, Khan. You trying to read that real quick, Bible Kasha?
Come on. This is
Con,
verse 18. It reads, "But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and ever and ever and ever."
con, con. That's right. Hey, the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom. That's how you know who the saints for real are, because yeah, Jake again, like you're saying, but how is Jake in the world? He's not taking the kingdom. You know, in a sense, he kind of he already in the kingdom, man. In a
Uh,
sense, man.
he
If
going with
he
the program.
Yeah, he going with the program. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really talking about Jake that, especially Jake that know of this truth and deny it. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? You don't want the Most High's kingdom for real. You want this kingdom.
Uh,
You kind of not even the Jakes that, they see the truth, they don't really see it like that. You know what I'm saying? They kind of, they congratulate us, whatever. They might, you know what I'm saying, hang around, whatever, and they're cool with us. But I'm talking about Jake that you just completely just disobey the word and you don't really want anything to do with it. You just want to flex and floss in this world. Guess what? You like East, you're already in the kingdom then. You know what I'm saying? In your damn Range Rover, right? With your fake chains on, man. You know, so you already in the. You don't want to take the kingdom. So this shows you who the saints are and what they're going to be doing in the last days. They're going to be taking the kingdom. So what does that mean? They're reading, they're praying, they're fasting, they're doing the work of the Lord. That's how they're taking the kingdom.
uh,
And possessing the kingdom.
uh,
Forever, even forever and ever. You
and,
know.
kind of, and the point with the bird saying, and when you take something, hey,
Uh,
that thing's damn near by force.
Con,
You
con,
taking it,
right,
man. Give me that. I'm taking it.
con,
What you and then you're gonna say, what you gonna do about it? Like
mhm,
a brother was saying, hey, Jake in the world, they want they heaven now. They got that spirit. Hey, I want it now. They like it's my money and I need it now. Spirit, man. They
right.
want it now. They like I'm getting my heaven now. I ain't waiting till I die. Hey, that's what man. Jake be saying that. I'm not waiting till I die. I want it now. You know.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's how Jake. That's Jake, man.
Man, con.
I'm gonna rate
Yeah.
that a king though. Oh, Con, you got a king.
Oh, Slaki. Yeah, no, I was just saying that, yeah, as a saint, man, hey, we gotta be patient, because again, as a brother is saying, like a saint for real is gonna be patient, because taking the kingdom is not going to just be a one day thing. If it was that, we've already been in the kingdom right now. You know what I'm saying? If it was up to us, right? We would have been in the kingdom yesterday, right? Last year. If you got ears to hear,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, but it's not up to us. It's not up to our time. The Lord said, look, the Lord is going to say, occupy till I come. So until he comes back, we're still occupying. We're still trying to take this kingdom, and as the brother said, by force too. And let's go to verse 25, right? Because this also talks about the saints.
This is verse 25. And it says, "And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and to think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until the time and times, and divided a time."
Hey, that's right. So who's the he? The he's talking about Esau. And he's going to speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. So this is talking about Esau. How is he wearing out the saints? He's wearing them out because of captivity. 400 years of free labor and captivity was wearing us out. And even in nowadays too, you look at today, we're living from check to check. So, if you don't go to work, even if you don't want to, guess what? It's no like, oh, I don't want to go to work today, I'm not going to go. You have to. Because if you don't, then guess what? Your kid's not going to be able to eat, your wife's not going to be able to eat, you're not going to be able to eat. You might get evicted, whatever, because you can't pay the rent, whatever. So that's the kind of condition that millions of our people is living in, and they're getting worn out. Sometimes you got to work two jobs, whatever. You might have to work 12-hour shifts. That's slavery, man. You know what I'm saying? You're working 12-hour shifts every week, you know what I'm saying? 5 days a week, whatever the case may be, and you still can't afford a new car. Still can't afford certain things. It's like, where's all my money going? You know? You're making it goes into one It goes into your account, you know what I'm saying, and goes right out. Right? So, hey, our people's getting worn out, man. You know what I'm saying? Our people's working until the age of 50, still working. You know what I'm saying? 60, still working. They've been working at, 90% of their life they've been working, man. You
God,
know, hey, sometimes you look at Issachar, man. Issachar been working since a little age. And Issachar, he damn the top tribe when it comes into hard labor, you know. But yeah, so our people's getting worn out, man. Right? It shall wear out the saints of the Most High. Sometimes we just our spirits is just vexed in this world, right? Because it's so vexing. You got Satan everywhere on every corner, waiting for you, looking at you. But you're already dealing with a lot at home, or you're already dealing with so much at your job, whatever it might be stressful. So we're getting worn out in this society. So that's how that's why it says that, and that shows you who the saints are. Because everybody else, Esau, you could just I don't feel like going in today. I'm calling it, right? Esau, he doesn't even have to work sometimes, man. Right? Yeah, he could just take a whole what they call a sabbatical, right?
paid leave.
He just take a sabbatical, like,
Mm,
hey, I'm calling in a. I feel like taking three months off. What do you say?
damn.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead. We'll take it. And he just takes 3 months off.
God.
You know, hey, our
And
people
still
can't
get
do that.
paid.
Still get paid. Yeah. Hey, these Edomites that kill our people, guess what? They get paid paid time off. You know, they literally get paid time off. So they get sent home and they're still getting paid. So it's like a vacation.
God.
You know.
Shit, man, it is. Some people saying they do that just to get a vacation. Let me kill a nigga so I can go on vacation real quick.
Hey, that's madness.
Crazy.
That's
Kind
complete madness, man. Yeah,
of,
exactly. So that's how we're getting worn out in the society, bro. Seeing our people getting oppressed on a daily, all this stuff, stress, you know, just being an Israelite, especially in this truth, you know, this truth adds, I mean, it's a balance. It adds certain stress, but it also takes away because you believe in Yahweh Shem Shah, you know. So it's a balance though. So I wouldn't say it's just more stressful. There's things that definitely do add a little bit more stress, but once you believe and have that comfort that comes with this truth, it balances out, I would say.
uh,
Right. But Con, let's also go real quick to let's go to Colossians, right? Because when you go to every one of Paul's epistles, it always talks about the saints, you know. So let's go to First Corinthians 1 and 4.
Colossians 1 and 4.
I mean, yeah, Colossians select.
It's Colossians chapter 1 and verse 4, and it reads thus: Since we heard of your faith in the Mashiach Yahushua and of the love which ye have to all the saints.
See that, the love that you have to all the saints, right? Yeah, so again, he always mentions the saints.
Mm,
And also let's get the classic about who the Romans are. Because with these precepts, you will understand that the Romans are Israelites as well. Let's go to, and there's other precepts to prove that as well, but just want to get this one. Romans.
This is Romans chapter 1 and verse 7, and it reads thus: To all that be in Rome, beloved of Yahweh, called to be saints.
Con,
Grace to you and peace from Yahweh our Father and the Lord Yahweh Mashiach. Yahweh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, to all that be in Rome, beloved of God, called to be saints. Yeah, these men that he's writing to in the church of Rome, they're called to be saints. And we know who the saints are. The saints are Israelites. All right. As we just, were proven through the spirit. I got another one too. Let's go to Philippians 4. And here's another thing too, right? And this kind of goes into like us today. Philippians 4 and verse 21.
Okay. This Philippians chapter 4 and verse 21.
right?
Salute every saint in Yahweh Mashiach Yahweh.
No, no, no. Only saints that's in your camp.
Salute every saint in Yahweh Mashiach Yahweh.
Khan, and the Lord said, well, through the hand of Paul, he said, look, salute every saint in Hamashiach Yahushua. Not only brothers in your camp, in your congregation, right? He said, salute every saint. So you mean to tell me, like, you see that? So Paul is saying one thing, right? But certain brothers, they're not doing that, right? Certain brothers are not doing that. Look, saying Paul, salute every saint in Hamashiach Yahushua. So he didn't say just in your congregation or in your church, whatever. He said salute every saint. So brothers that's in Hamashiach Yahushua, meaning in the truth. Brothers is wearing fringes. We're teaching the same thing. Brother, just because you believe that the new moon is a full moon doesn't mean that we teach different doctrine. Right? You might teach different doctrine in terms, okay, that's a little different, right? It's a little different. But the main thing is what? We teach that we have to keep the commandments. We're Israelites, so-called Black, Spanish, Native Americans, and faith in Hamashiach Yahweh. That brother's in the truth. You know? Yeah, he has it, he's wearing his fringes, etc., etc. You know? So the Lord says, salute every saint, right? You're doing this work, truth and sincerity. The Lord, hey, guess what? I'm gonna salute you. You know? So that's something I just also wanted to highlight too. You said, look, salute every saint. Right?
That's beautiful. God got a couple precepts to the spirit.
You got it.
I'm gonna get Psalms 149 and verse 1. It reads, praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. And so he's saying, sing a new song in the praises of the saints. And we know all the saints is the ones that really, serve the Most High. And we could go back to the congregation. Only time the Most High deal with the congregation is with the Israelites. Let me get that in the law. Let me go to Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 2. And it reads thus. Leviticus 19 and verse 2. It says, speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy. So like you am holy. God. So the Most High, literally deems what the saints as a congregation, and this congregation is who? The Israelites. And we the only ones that actually, like the brother said in Romans 9 and 3 on down, we the only one that could do the service on the Most High. The only one that could praise the Most High. The only one that could do all the acts service to the Most High. Of course, these other nations going to eventually have to do it, but we know our spirit always be leading towards the Most High. Even on another fold, as our people that's in Christianity, they believe in God. They have the zeal, but really not according to knowledge. Or in our Islam, they have a zeal to serve a Most High God, or ultimate power, but they not serving him to what, to rightful knowledge. But ultimately what it says, let me get Psalms 1 again. Psalms 149. Go back to the king. So like 149 and 1, it says, praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. So we're gonna be joyful in our king. And a lot of these words be possessive, like it's really a possessive thing. Like Romans 1 and 7, it says our God, the God of our fathers. Who fathers is talking about? It's talking about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And a lot of these things, people need to take their feelings out of it, take their doctrine out of it. And when you read theirs, you got to really take it as far as face value what it is. So, and he said the saints is the congregation, and he only deemed Israel as the congregation who he chose. But Kanye got a king.
Con, no, yeah, that's exactly right though, man. Con, yeah, you got to look at that, and let's even in that, let's go into let's go verse 6, in
Verse
that same
6. It says, let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand
see
to
that.
ex- Khan, to
It's
execute.
hey, oh, it's like no, I just want to say, hold up. So
It's
the
like
saint, so people think that the saints, they're you know, let me look up the saints real quick. Again, like this is what people think.
dang, football.
Oh man, not this.
Like when you really look at the
Hey,
like
hey, see, this is what Google's gonna say.
hey kind, but hey, you look at the Saints though. Hey, me and the brother was going into that. Hey, the Saints logo is it's a lily. It's a lily in a sense, right?
Yeah,
And and the Saints, that's kind of the spirit. Like, hey, the
yeah,
Saints and the lily.
yeah,
Hey,
no, yeah,
so hey, God favored two things in a you know. I like, dang, that's crazy how they put it. That's just the spirit.
yeah, no, yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, as you say, the brothers are going into that, how that's actually a lily, and why they pick a lily, you know, yeah, that's spiritual.
Yeah,
The lily, is the Most High's favorite flower, according to Second Ezra chapter 5. You know, but so I want to look up like let's say like Saints Bible,
yeah, kind of.
kind of like why is it all Edomites? Why is it all white people? You know, what is this? Like, who is this, man? Who is that supposed to be? Saint Francisco.
Who the
Saint,
hell is
hey,
hell is Francisco?
who is Francisco? Who is Saint Elizabeth?
Man.
Wait, is this supposed to be? Nah, I don't
You said Queen Elizabeth.
know. Bro, what the heck? So when people think of saints, it's what they think of, right? And the concept of like saints, because really when you go into like Protestant, you know, uh Protestant churches, for example, they don't really mention the saints too much, right? They don't really mention the saints. They mention like, well, actually, I never really heard them mention saints. Who really harps on saints a lot are the Catholics. That's why I said the Catholics, because they actually pray to saints. So when you go into like a Catholic church, depending on what type of Catholic church it is, you might see like saints up there in the walls. Like it'll be like Saint Patrick or like Saint the Third. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like it would they're like on the walls. And I've actually been to ones that's like that, and they actually have saints there. And you could actually like you pray. There's an altar. It's literally an altar for the candles, everything, a big old statue, picture, whatever. And you could pray to that saint. And they're not going to say to you, you're going off. In fact, they're going to encourage it, right? So that's literally madness, right? And again, they're always white. So again, white supremacist religion, all right? Gone. But that's why we got that's and the point is that's what they think the saints are. All right. Now let's see if the saints that they're talking about, let's see what the saints are doing according to the Bible. Right. So they got a two-edged sword in their hand. Let's see what they're going to do with that two-edged sword. Right. Let's go to verse 7.
Verse 7, it says to execute vengeance. So like I'm sorry, 6 again. Let the high praises of Yahweh be in their mouth and a two-edged sword in their hand to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
Hey, all praises to Yahweh Shah, man.
All
And guess
praise.
what? That's the second to last psalm in the whole book of Psalms, right?
Okay.
Ah, hey, that shows you something, man.
Hey,
The Lord,
God.
he kind of got to end it off with judgment,
Hey,
all
God.
right? Because according to the book of Isaiah 30 and 18, the Lord is a God of judgment, right? So, he got to end it off with that. And so, again, remember when we read in Revelation 13 and 10, this is what the saints are patiently, faithfully waiting for to execute what? Vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people with that two-edged sword in their hand. Hey, guess what the certain Christian is going to say? Oh, this is spiritual. It's talking about the two-edged sword. It's talking about the Bible, right? And the executing vengeance upon the heathen. The heathen are they that disobey God, right? No, it's not that deep, man. Stop trying to break it down on a more spiritual level, right? It's you have certain things that's plain and certain things that are hidden in parables. This is plain. This is literally plain. How can you break that down on a spiritual level? To bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron. It's nothing. There's nothing spiritual. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not a metaphorical thing. That's literal. To execute upon them the judgment written, this honor have all his saints. So again, the saints, they have an honor to do that. They have the privilege to do that. Again, because they overcame the world. They overcame the flesh. You know what I'm saying? They endured it to the end. So therefore, power is going to be given onto them. All right. So again, if you're just sitting around smoking weed, and just disobeying the Most High 24/7, how are you really a saint, man? Right? How are you really a saint? You see that? So, to a saint, he's going to be able to do this, uh, and have that honor to do so. I also wanted to get real quick, Revelation chapter 8.
Revelation chapter 8
And let's go to
and
verse 2.
in verse 2. It reads thus. It says, "And I saw the seven angels which stood before Yahweh, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne."
Con, you see that? So the prayers of all the saints. So we see here in Revelation 8 that the prayers of the saints, those are the ones that go up to the Most High. It didn't say the prayers of the saints and everybody who believeth. It said the
Uh,
prayers of the saints. So the saints are Israelites. These are the prayers of the Israelites, right? And especially they that what keep the commandments, because the Lord say, "He that turneth the ear from hearing the law, even his prayer shall be an abomination." In Proverbs 22, and I believe verse 4 on there. So if you're not listening to the commandments, right, and not hearkening onto the Lord, then really, the Most Highs aren't really listening to your prayer either, because you don't want to listen to Him. That's how the Lord works, right? So these are the prayers of the saints, the prayers of the saints that go up to the Most High, and we see here that the angel he catches the prayer in like this golden censer, all right, because like that prayer is like that incense. Now, when you go to real quick in Tobit, 12 and 15, it'll show you who is that angel that catches those prayers. It's on
uh,
the side.
uh, this
So,
is Tobit chapter 12 and verse 15. And it
mhm.
reads this. Wherefore, or Salaki, whereof the second shall begin to reign. Salaki, you said 12 and 15, right?
Yeah, 12 and 15. Tobit, 12 and
Tobit,
15.
uh, Tobit chapter 12 and verse 15. It reads this.
Go
And I am Raphael, one of the seven holy angels, which present the prayers of the saints,
on.
and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One.
Yeah, exactly. So Raphael, who's one of the seven holy angels, he's the one that presents the saints, the prayers of the saints. Because what I'm saying, the angels, they got different, lots and jobs. So Raphael, according to this, he's one of the seven holy angels that present the prayers of the saints, which go in and out before the Lord, the Holy One. There has to be an angel to bring up these prayers to the saints. I mean, to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High operates. All right. So again, if you're a saint, guess what? The Most High, He's hearing your prayer, man. Right.
Okay.
And again, we already went through what the ramifications of a saint are. Right, through the Spirit. Um, I believe of brothers. But yeah, Khan, Shabbat Shalom, King.
Kind
All
of Shabbat
praise,
Shalom, King.
Khan, all praises. Right. I think that's really it, honestly, on the saints. Um, like I said, there might be other precepts, but we don't have to go through every single precept to prove what the saints are, right? We just went through the majority of the precepts in the whole Bible, honestly. And any other precept for real would just be in the Pauline epistles, and he's talking about the Israelites as in its truth, right? When he references the saints. And chiefly, I wouldn't say in every context, but chiefly, right? But yeah, that's basically it, I think, on that. You had anything else on that, King?
Yeah, kind. I got precept, King.
All right, Khan, you got it.
Count. This is Acts chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, "Then Ananias answered, Lord, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he have done to thy saints at Jerusalem." So ultimately we know who was getting persecuted all through Jerusalem at that time. It was all
Mhm.
Israel. Every one of them that was getting done bad, persecuted, getting hung, get crucified on all the things that was doing. It was all the Israelites. They was the only ones that getting persecuted. Because like the brother was saying, they had to be Israelites, and they also had to keep the commandments, and also believe in the Mashiach. And that's the whole totality. Kind. It says, keep reading. It says, "And here he have authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the Lord said unto him, Go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me to bear my name before the Gentiles, kings, and the children of Israel." So ultimately, they talking about Paul in a sense. For
Mhm.
so Bakan, so we know who was Paul persecuting. He was they was a complaint. Hey, wasn't this the man that was persecuting the church? Another church, another word for church is what? Congregation.
Mm.
So all these, like the brother say, all these coincides with each other, and it shows us who were the saints all through the Bible. You could put the pieces together. Like the first precepts we kind of pulled with in Psalms 50 and Psalms 148. That's kind of plain. You can kind of see it. And even like Deuteronomy 33, you can kind of see it, who is he talking about. But the other precepts, you got to kind of link it together, put the puzzle together. And well, you could say Psalms 52. You got to know who he made a covenant with, because all these things you got to put the puzzles together to show who are the saints according to the scriptures. What kind you got it, King?
Khan, yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, man. Got to, precept upon precept. You can't.
So,
Khan, exactly. That's where a lot of our Christian brothers err at. If they go to the New Testament, they're reading the saints, and they're just automatically concluding that, oh, the saints must be everybody. Or they might just pass by it, bro. Just might pass by that word and don't even notice it, honestly. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they'll do. And brother had a question in the chat. It says they say from URAL, they say the Most High doesn't hear sinners. What if you stumble and want to repent? Right? Yeah, I mean, that's we're all going to stumble. You know what I'm saying? We're all going to stumble. We're all going to fall, according to Proverbs 24 verse 16. The Lord said, "For a just man falleth 7 times, you know, but riseth up again." So if you believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai and you fall, you get back up. That's why that grace is there. When the Lord says in John 9 verse 31, for we know that God heareth not sinners, chiefly is talking about people that just continue in sin and live a very wicked lifestyle, right? That doesn't believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushai at all. Not hearing their prayer. The Most High is not hearing their prayers, right? If you're in the world smoking weed, getting high, getting drunk, doing all this stuff and just being wicked, the Most High is not hearing you. But if you do His will and doing His will, guess what? You're going to stumble sometimes. It's bound to happen, right? Proverbs 24:16, for a just man falleth 7 times and rises up again. but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So the wicked is going to fall into mischief. The Lord's not hearing the wicked. We already know that.
Uh,
You're trying to keep the law. That I mean, you're trying to. The Lord said, "He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law." I mean, he doesn't even want to hear it. He's not even trying to do it. But if you're trying to keep this law in truth, sincerity, guess what, brother? You know what I'm saying? The Most High, He's still hearing you. The Most High, He's still with you. You
uh,
know, come on. Hey, did not the Lord? Hey, David, he slipped up. You know, the Lord was still with David, whithersoever he went. You know, so hey, so we just have to
Paul
look at that like too. But it's like you said, what King?
said, "Can't even Paul." You know,
Huh?
hey,
Exactly.
have mercy on him. He literally just said, but the precept we just pulled through the Spirit, hey, nah, I'm saving him because he gonna be a mighty vessel through the Spirit.
Uh,
You know, but
right.
I got two precepts for the brother. You know,
Yeah.
kind of tying up. This is Wisdom of Solomon chapter 4 and verse 15. It says, this the people saw and understood it not, neither laid they up this in their minds, that his grace and mercy is with his saints, and
Mm,
that he have respect unto his chosen.
yeah,
And
that's
so
fine.
ultimately the most high, like the brother he eloquently stated, hey, if you fall, AB got to get back up, and that's all a part of what the grace and mercy that the Most High have placed on who His saints, and we know His saints are like I said, the ones He respect. They're the Israelites, His chosen, you
Come on.
know, and like so that's what it's all about a picking yourself up and a be ye perfect as our Father is in heaven. Our perfect is not it's not the Most High perfect. We know the Most High is perfect, perfect to the T. Our perfect is what because people try to, you can't be like the Most High. That's plain. We know we can't be like the Most High. Our perfect, we gotta, we fall, we gotta get back up, repent, and turn our eye away. That's what it's all about. Our being perfect. We gotta keep striving for perfection.
Right.
Like Paul said in First Corinthians chapter 15:31. Hey, I die daily in this thing with the
Mm-hmm.
with Mashiach Yahushua. Kind, but kind.
Right.
This is but that's it. That's it on the king. That's all I got. I was gonna get another precept, but you know,
Oh, okay. I mean, you got it if you want to get it, but I just had one more precept on that Saints though. I had like two more on that Saints.
nah, Khan,
Yeah.
you got it. King, you got it.
Okay.
Khan.
Okay. Con.
Brother got the through the spirit.
Okay. Con. All praise. Yeah. One more thing on the Saints. Let's go to Psalm chapter 116 and verse 15.
Uh, this is Psalms chapter 116 and verse 15. This is Psalms 116 and 15, and it reads thus: and so let me find it. Precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints.
Con. So the Lord said that's precious. You know, when a saint dies for him in his name, the Lord said that's precious in his sight, right? Is the death of his saints. So if brothers are able to be martyrs for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, that's an actual precious thing. The Lord said, "He that saveth his life shall lose it, but he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it." Yeah, that's a cold precept in the book of
Uh,
Matthew, this chapter. Come on, so the Lord said, "Look, if you willing to lose your life for me, guess what? You're gonna find it, right? And that life is not talking about life in this society. Life is talking about eternal life, right? That internal reward, right? And a precept on that to show you that the Lord he likes martyrs. Let's go to Revelation 2 and verse 13.
this is Revelation chapter 2 and verse 13. And it
Uh,
reads thus: I know thy works, and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith, even in those days wherein Antipas, even into those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you, where Satan dwelleth.
yeah, con. Exactly. So the Lord said, I know your works, where you dwell, even where Satan's seat is, because what does that mean? Meaning the chief place of Satan. You know what I'm saying? For example, like Chicago, like Satan's seat is there. New York City, LA, Satan's seat is there. There's a high level of, evil, wickedness, etc., etc. Right? That's what that Satan's seed is. And thou holdest fast my name and has not denied my faith. So if you're a martyr unto the end, that means that you held fast his name. You did not deny the faith. The Lord said, hey, that's precious in his eyes, man. Right? Even in those days wherein Antipas was my faithful martyr, he said, my faithful martyr. Right? He didn't just say my martyr. He didn't just say a martyr. He said, my faithful martyr who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. So guess what? Antipas, his name is forever, remembered, mentioned. The Lord gave him a shout out. That's how much the Lord he bigs up, martyrs, man. So that's why in Psalms 119 or 116 verse 15, saying, "Look, precious in my sight is the death of his saints." It's the death of the saints, man. So yeah, Khan, that's it's a it's a it's a certain lot that certain brothers have. We don't know if we have that lot, but if we have it, hey, all praise to the Most High. We'd rather die in this truth than live my life in a lie, man. And deny the faith. Rather die in this truth. You know, knowing that I died for Yahweh Shah, right? So yeah, Khan, all praise. You had anything else on that?
Kind of like I can.
All right, Khan, all praise to Most High. So we have reached our time through the Spirit. We can bring, if you had a closing precept, you can bring it out as well. Just a quick one, you know what I'm saying?
Kind, you got it, King.
Khan, yeah, I just had Revelation 3 verse 11. Behold, I can quickly hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. So, we in the last days, we holding fast that we already have, right? So the knowledge, wisdom, understanding that you have, hold it fast, man. The Lord said, hold it fast. That no man take thy crown. All right. Because guess what? Satan, he wants to take your crown away from you. All right. Look at it like this. You already have your crown, right? You already have it. And it's just our job for not to let anything take it away from us. Not our children, wife, job, Esau, right? Demons. Just can't take it. Just let it take away from us, man. Guess what? It's our crown and we gotta fight for it. All right. And Khan, Shalom, Barzia, Yabashina Shabaraka. Khan.
Okay.
Shalom, Khan. So yeah, Khan, all praise to the Most High. You got that.
Let me get the scripture real quick. Okay, this is Sirach 24 and 24. It says, faint not to be strong in the Lord, that he may confirm you. Cleave unto him, for the Lord Almighty is Yahweh alone, and beside him there is no other Savior. So we got to cleave unto the Most High. And like the brother said, in these last days, you got to ultimately seek out everything that we need to seek out. Like the brother say, this is coming around the Passover and the sifted season. Like the brother say, hey, this is when a old crop get burned down and new crop come in. And if your new crop ultimately get built up and seek the kingdom first, and everything else will be added unto you. Seek the Most High as much as you can. Never lose that first feeling when you can't come in the truth. And ultimately, it says, faint not to be strong in the Lord. Don't faint not. Be strong in the Most High at all times. Every brother goes through that cycle to being on fire, not being on fire, being on fire, but you want to make sure that you have more on fire days than not being on fire. I just say it like that. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that because look at it as war as well. You may lose a battle, but you ultimately want to win the war, because you have many battles, but it's the war. It may not be over, but you want to make sure that you want to win that battle, and win that war. You don't want to keep losing, but if you keep losing battles, you might not even win the war. So you gotta win multiple battles, and so you can ultimately win the war. And faint not and cleave unto the Most High. What kind?
Khan, Hey, that's right, Doc. That's right. So all praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. If you missed it live, you know what I'm saying, go ahead, rewatch it, through the spirit. So with that, we appreciate the time. All praise to Yahweh Shem Shai. So
Y'all about to
Yahweh Shem Shai Barakatah, this is brother Yasha Allah.
That's better say right.
Come back to y'all yet in the video through the spirit by Yahweh, Bashem, Mashiach Yahweh Shai, Yasha Allah, Shalom.
Shalom.
Khan.